Alright, I'm just going to run through the map on my this Maze of Minotaur on my build. Click any shrines.
One of my captors felt no emotion.
Nope.
He did not hesitate to inflict
The
pain.
build is Divine Retribution.
All he feels
Eternity
is unstoppable agony.
I cannot do this just yet. Full of youth and vibrancy was the childlike wonder and they sought knowledge,
This is the key to a crucible that stretches the sanity of the mind.
Okay, so concept is Divine Retribution is a new skill this league, and I love Eternity Shroud builds, so I decided historically that Fizz to Lightning skills do well as Eternity Shroud skills because of how non-chaos as chaos works, or in this case elemental damage as extra chaos works. So I convert the Fizz fully to Lightning with Fizz to Lightning, and then I convert 96% of it to Cold with 2 Call of the Brotherhoods. I then use Cold to Fire to convert half of that to Fire, and then at every step this 5 elemental damage extra chaos is applied. Now it's for every shaped item, which all my items are shaped, and it procs the hits ignore enemy monster chaos resistance. So I don't need to use despair, I just can ignore chaos resistance. Now the Ascendancy, I actually don't even, I ended up not playing this build too much. I just wanted to showcase it because it's interesting, and it works as conceptually it works, and it does decent enough damage, and it's tanky. I don't die often except for dots. Its weakness is dots, and that'd be something you'd want to figure out if you tried this build. So I only have 3 Ascendancies. The last one is kind of whatever. It's War of Attrition. It's just more damage in boss fights that last a little bit longer. So it's not even like key, but obviously you want the lucky block to proc retaliation. You want the retaliation. That's why you went Glad over something like Trickster, where you kind of you'd have to go Svalin, but you can't get a shape Svalin, so it kind of bricks the ignore, and I like to do the full shaper, and so I'm using Ralakesh's Impatience, and I for tankiness, because I have a lot of Endurance charges, I will eventually. My next level actually is probably going to be the max frenzy charges. I'm only level 82 as of this video, so there's a lot of points left on the board like this for some damage. The damage could be better, but it's okay. It's fun. This is a really strong Light of Meaning. This is just an okay spot for a Lethal Pride. I get 4 notables. I have Fizz, 2 double damages, and a light max life. And then I have a Watcher's Eye that I went with Wrath over Hatred. Hatred used to be really good because it used to give more cold damage, or it might have just been more spell cold damage. Either way, it took Fizz and as cold, and then also all of that lightning damage when it got converted to gold would get boosted there. That doesn't really work anymore. So now I just use Wrath, which gives lightning spell damage, and then you can get this nice Watcher's Eye with the Fizz's extra lightning, and then it goes to the chain. I went with it'd be hard on this side of the Tree as a Glad to kind of get a lot of spell crit, so I went with a Oscillating Scepter for the Elemental Overload, and that's almost always up because of this node, which is every 4th retaliation skill you use always crits, and so you always crit there. And then the rest of the gear is pretty self-explanatory. Trying to get as much Fizz as extra, and skill gem levels, because that's where all my damage is coming, because it's a very defensive tree. So the damage probably could be better, but I do a lot of builds where I think I'm doing a lot of damage and then I just fall over like paper. So that I didn't want to do the sun. I'll link the PoB. I'm kind of rambling, sorry. The only other interesting thing is I'm using Glacial Shield Swipe for just extra procs of retaliation, because you get the 25% chance when you use retaliation skill for a different skill to become usable. You have that, and then also the retaliation mastery, so it's 35%. So every time you press Glacial Shield Swipe, it freezes. It doesn't do any damage because I have an ES shield, so it doesn't really freeze long enough for your spells have 100% chance to shock. I thought that would be really cool, but I decided to just use it as a way to apply my curse, which is punishment, because you don't need the less damage. And then you take this for all the elemental damage you're doing. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you can ask. I'm probably going to dismantle this build because ultimately what I don't like is I don't like retaliation skills. I don't like waiting. I didn't like the playstyle. The build is fine. I just don't like the playstyle. Thanks for watching.